I know, look at the bump. How'd that happen?
It's black.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the back.
Alright. We had rain all day yesterday. Started in the middle of the night and rolled through the whole day basically. It was not a heavy thunderstorm type pounding rain. It was that kind of gentle all day soaking rain, which is good. You know, they were supposed to get me water Saturday. There wasn't water Saturday, there wasn't water Sunday. But there was water yesterday, so we're between the rain and the swales flooded, we're all good now. We're going to take a walk through, show you how everything looks, and we're going to be adding to this food forest. I brought a bunch of papayas and a bunch of moringas. Also brought some strawberries and some marigolds too. Plus some seeds, some alfalfa and some cowpea seeds. We're going to spread all of that around. The alfalfa is supposed to be drought tolerant, but it has to get established. I'm really hoping that we'll get good establishment with the rains. It is that time of year. We should start to see the spring rains, and they should really start taking hold anytime. Yesterday may have been the beginning of the spring rains. It's that time of year. So for the next 6 weeks or so, we should get a consistent and steady rain. That rain, hopefully, will be enough to get the alfalfa to root and take hold, and we'll get a good layer of alfalfa over this whole place. So far, this is the only tree that seems to be having trouble. This apple is just not happy. I'm not going to give up on this tree. I think it'll be all right. It's just going to take some time. Now, as you can see, the swale is full. That is a very full swale. There are a couple trees that haven't been mulched right over here. As soon as we get them mulched, we're going to plant some of the papayas here. Then I'm going to run the sprinkler. I'm going to get water, just some surface water, along with throwing some alfalfa seeds, some cowpea seed. We're going to get some seeds on this and just run the sprinkler a little bit, but we're going to run it out of the swale. I don't know if I showed this, but over the weekend we got this load of wood chips. So in the last week we got this load here and that load there, and the guys tell me there'll be more, so we should be happy with wood chips. The ultimate goal is to bury this entire food forest, literally from the first banana circle we planted way down there by that coconut tree all the way over here to where he's mulching that tree, cover the entire thing in 1 foot thick layer of wood chips. Now here's our Namdok Mai mango. Seems to have handled the transplant very well. Looks good. Got a good mulch. Got the fencing up around it to protect it. Hopefully we'll get this thing to grow quickly without the goats destroying it. Papayas can be a perfect thing to plant under certain applications. Right, the application we're using it for right here, it's exactly what we need. First and foremost, papayas take up very little space. They grow reasonably tall, they grow straight, and they only leaf out a few feet around. It's like 3 feet across is all the leaf space they take. They don't take a lot of sun, or they don't create huge amounts of shade. They don't interfere with the growth of anything else around it. And when you plant them next to big trees, like is suffering, but we're hoping it pops. When you plant them next to the big trees, it does several things. First, it gives organic matter to the soil. The root system on the papaya is actually bigger than the tree on the top. It's got a surprisingly big root system. And in a year, when we cut this papaya down, when it's done, we're going to cut it down and leave the roots in the ground. Those roots break down, give you organic matter in the soil. But while they're growing, they give you fruit. They cover up a small area. They have the benefits of growing papayas. If they were a legume, they'd be the perfect thing to grow. The pigeon pea or gunga pea, that's a legume. That is another one that we will be planting. Now, I had mentioned why papayas are so useful, and here's a prime example. Look at this papaya. It's big, but it doesn't take up a lot of space. Maybe 3 feet in each direction, 6 feet in diameter, but it doesn't shade anything. It's got a really good root system. When we cut this thing down, and we'll cut it down soon, probably 9 months or so, we'll cut this thing down, and all those roots will die back and give us fertilizer for this lemon drop mangosteen. Just like this papaya did. That papaya now is fertilizer, organic compost in the ground that this lemon drop mangosteen will feed on. Well, it's happened, guys. We've finished the first pile of wood chips. Now he's over here digging into that pile of wood chips that was delivered last week. And it looks like it's steaming. Is that steaming?
Yeah, little steam.
Little steam. Understand, we are not making compost. This pile of wood chips is here for mulch, not compost. We have compost. This is compost. This we want to use for mulch. It's time for me to go pick up Pretty Girl from school. We'll show you what we've got done. Then we're gonna go get Pretty Girl from school. One of the things I've done is I've thrown alfalfa seeds across this area. Then I covered them with grass. Now this is a very, very light layer of grass cuttings. I literally stand upwind and drop them and let the wind blow them into place. It's just enough to kind of hold a little moisture and give the seeds a little protection, but it's not enough to really be considered mulch. The seeds should grow right up through this grass. We've got some papaya. We've got a moringa right there. The moringas look rough. The moringas do not do the transplant well. I'm hoping that they'll perk right up, but they don't look very good. Here's some sweet potatoes. This, what I did is I took the spade and dug it as deep as I possibly could. And I just opened up a gap between where the spade was and just kept going as deep as deep as it could go. So it's about a foot deep here. And then I took the slip and put it all the way down, all the way to the bottom, filled the whole thing with compost, watered it good, and stepped on it to compress it all. So these slips are a foot deep or so. They're about a foot deep and they're totally covered in compost. I'm really hoping that that'll be enough for them to take over. The roots are deep enough, they should be all right. As you can see, most of this has been mulched. All the trees have been thoroughly mulched now. We've gone through all the mulch that was right here, plus half of the last loads. I would be willing to use all of the wood chips that we've got. We've got a lot to do here. But so far, so good. As you see, we got some stuff done. It's mid-afternoon. I'm gonna go pick up Pretty Girl from school. We're gonna come back here and get some more done. I'm gonna move this sprinkler. I'm gonna move this sprinkler to another spot when we get back. Unfortunately, I need the truck to run this pump, so that has to be done when we get back. How was your day? Yeah. Did you have fun?
Yes.
How was dancing?
Fun.
Good. Did you learn anything?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I want to jump
Really? Okay.
at dancing day.
Now you can see the way we've got this sprinkler going. All we did is connect this all to a pump, connect it to a few pipes, and bingo. Now, all we're trying to do is wet down the grass that we laid out. There's a thin layer of grass on top of some seeds. I threw a whole bunch of seeds here. We've got some alfalfa and some cowpea that we threw into this section. And by putting a little bit of grass over the top, give it just a little bit of protection from the blazing hot sun, from the moisture wicking out of the system. Pretty much every day, I'm gonna have to water this every day for about a week, and then every other day for a couple weeks until we get it established. I'm hoping that we get our spring rains coming soon, and I won't have to actually be out here every day. Just happen to see we've got something that looks awfully good right now. This is a guava. Planted these a year ago, and we're already getting fruit. I'm pretty sure this time next year we'll have a booming group of guavas, because all the guavas here are pretty good. The shy one just called me. I need to go get her. So we're going to take a quick walk through. I'm going to show you what we got done. We got a few things that are suffering some ugly transplant shock, but most of this stuff looks pretty good. You take a look. We've got a good thick layer of mulch around every tree. This whole stretch all the way down. Now what he's doing down there is getting a good layer of mulch around the grapes and the grandadillas. We also got sweet potatoes in the ground. You look right here, we've got sweet potatoes here. I put in all the sweet potato slips we have. There's some here. We've got papayas too. Here's some papaya. Here's moringa. The strawberries, we need to give them a little TLC for about a month. Hopefully give them a month and they take root, they'll survive. If they don't, they don't. It's just the way it is, but we'll do our best. We put in probably 20 papayas so far, and about half the moringas, about 10 moringas. I put in all the sweet potato slips that we have, and I planted them very deep and gave them a good thorough watering. So hopefully they'll hold and give us sweet potatoes. I also covered this area here with some grass after throwing down some alfalfa seed and some cowpea. The goal is to get these legumes to take root. We're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to mulch a lot more. There's a lot of mulching to do. A lot. We used all the wood chips over here. All those wood chips plus this pile, this first pile, about, it looks like more than half of that's been used. Pretty soon we're going to be getting into the one that was delivered on Sunday. Here's where we've got some marigolds, a couple marigolds, some sweet potatoes, some papayas. You know, if I had been thinking, I would have had him plant a moringa here too, but we could. We still have moringas here. Here's where we've got about half the tray. So about half of these have been planted. I gotta admit, things look pretty good. We've got a few of these trees that are looking a little bit rough. I expect we're gonna lose some. We always do. All right, none of them are 100%. We're gonna lose a few. Whatever dies, dies. I'm not going to go crazy here. What I will do, if this cashew dies, and it may, we'll dig it out and I'll put an orange in. Because we don't have any citrus in this part of the food forest. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to put some citrus in. It's going to take a couple weeks for anything we put in to get over the transplant shock, take root, and grow. The stuff that does well, we'll be very happy. The stuff that doesn't and dies, we'll replace. It's just that simple. So we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to continue to mulch, continue planting these, and we'll see you guys then. Good night, everyone. God bless. I'll see you guys tomorrow.